Okay, so we need to finish the 4.3 notes about proving lines are parallel, and we're actually going to do the constructions part. So actually what this video is the constructions. We're going to do parallel, and then we're going to do perpendicular. Okay, so we're going to finish this, and then we're going to move on to the next page and do a perpendicular lines. So you should already have these. So here's what we're going to do. First of all, let's talk about the instructions, and then you're going to try it on your own, work through it. You need a compass today and a straight edge. All right, so first of all, we're going to draw a line through R and across PQ at an angle, that should say an angle, creating point J. So draw a line through R across PQ, creating point J. We're going to go ahead and do that. R to PQ, J. That's the first step. Next, with the compass width about half of JR and the point on J, draw an arc across both lines. So we're going to do that. Grab your compass, put the point at J, about halfway from J to R. We're going to, it's a little more than half, that's fine. We're going to make a arc. Oh, I've got a problem. You might notice my problem. Number one, you can't even see what I'm doing. Sorry, let me take a minute. Zoom out of there. I drew a line from R, named it J. I now drew an arc. Now let's talk about my problem. My problem is it touches here, but it doesn't touch here because my line's not long enough, which means if I have to create a longer line, that's fine. You can do that. So there's my longer line. Okay, that's 1 and 2. Using the same compass width, repeat at point R. So I gotta do the same thing at R, and I'm gonna have to make that one longer too. I hate it when that happens, but I'm gonna have to. So make it pretty big because I'm gonna have to make this bigger. I'm trying to make it so you can actually see the pencil. There we go. See my pencil and my pencil. All right, so I'm gonna have to extend this line because I can't. Okay. Now, set the compass width to the lower arc. So I'm actually copying an angle. Okay, so take your compass and measure from here to here. Okay. Move the compass to the upper arc. Mark off an arc to make point S, meaning put it right here, draw the arc so it goes across wherever they meet right here is point S. Draw a straight line through R and S. That is my parallel line. It might not be perfect. If something went wrong, it's going to be really hard right here because I'm writing on top of another notebook page, but they should look like they wouldn't touch. Mine look like they might touch a little bit further out, but the goal is to try to make them look like they don't touch. If your compass slipped, that's going to be a problem. Okay, so try your best. Now, if they do connect, you got to redo them. Okay, so here are my parallel lines. That's how I construct parallel. Let's talk about how we construct perpendicular. Okay, on the next page, we're only going to do page 42. We'll do 43 later. 42, we're going to go ahead and label it 4.4 perpendicular lines, and that is the title for 43 as well. Go ahead and label 43, but we're not doing 43 today. But if you don't have a printer, you're writing on page 42. There's a little handout that goes with this. A little half piece of paper. You only need half of it. Okay. So we're still doing constructions, but now we're going to talk about perpendicular constructions. Okay, so constructing perpendicular lines. Technically, we've done this. We did perpendicular bisectors back when we cut things in half, those were perpendicular bisectors, meaning they formed at a right angle. So the steps are kind of the same. That's all the way back, as soon as I can find it. Okay. That's all the way back on page 8 is perpendicular lines. So first of all, place the point of the compass at A. We'll draw a line. Actually, it left off the line here, so I'm sorry. It means it left off the line for everybody. Draw a line down here. Not a line, a segment. And label it A, B. Okay, sorry. So place the point of the compass at A. Using a compass that is greater than half the length of A, B, draw an arc. We've done this. We're going to keep going with the directions. Without changing the width, place the point of the compass at B and draw an intersecting arc. It's got to do it in 2 places. Label the intersections C and D. Use a straight edge to draw CD, which will be a line, which is the perpendicular bisector of AB. Okay, so let's do this. So place the point of my compass at A. It's got to be a little over half. I accidentally go into the other piece, and that's okay. I'll erase what I need to if I have to. Okay, then without changing the width, do the same at B. So we've done this before. Label the intersection points C and D. Use a straight edge to draw CD. That is the perpendicular bisector. Here's what that means. That means from here to here, if we label this M because that's technically the midpoint, these are congruent, but they also meet at a 90-degree angle. If I took a protractor and measured, that is a 90-degree angle, so it's perpendicular. That is what a perpendicular bisector is. Cuts it in half, and it's perpendicular there. All right, now, this is labeled 4 and 5 for a reason. This is constructing a perpendicular bisector of a segment. This is constructing a perpendicular line, okay? Now, the problem is if I have a line, so I want you to go down here and draw a line, I can't bisect the line. That's why I have different steps. I cannot bisect the line. Lines go on forever. I can't cut it in half. I can make something go through it perpendicularly, but I can't cut it in half. So, we're going to do something a little different. Number 4 says, place the point of the compass at P. There should be a point P. So put a point P out here. It will be on your homework already given to you, okay? Actually, we need to make that a little bit better. It could be anywhere. I just need the room, so we're going to put it right here. Okay. Draw an arc that intersects L at 2 points, and we're going to label those points A and B. Use the methods in steps 1 to 3 to construct the perpendicular bisector of the segment AB. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw and make a smaller segment on this line. Then we will repeat these points. Now, the segment will be cut in half, but obviously the line will not, because you can't cut a line in half. So P, I need to have something wide enough so that it'll cross this twice, and it looks like this will. Okay, my compass moved, as some of you are very familiar with happening to you a lot. Okay, I'm going to take up the paper and spin it, because I always find that to be easier. Your points don't have to be the same as mine, but the point is you have to go from P to L and have 2 points. Here is A, here is B. That is the first part. Now let's do the rest of it. The rest of it is now just like what we did up here. Take your compass, put it to a little over half from A to B, draw an arc. Move it over, draw another arc. They don't connect, so I'm going to have to go back to A and make this one longer. That happens sometimes. Then I'm going to label those C and D. I'm going to connect C and D, It should also go through P. If it does not, then something's not completely right. See, mine almost does, barely. This is a perpendicular line to line L. That is how you construct a perpendicular line. Obviously, it's not in half of L because L is a line. It cannot be in half. But there's how we construct a perpendicular line. All right, you are gluing this in your notebook if you have a copy onto page 42. If you don't have a copy, you wrote all this on 42. All right, I will see you tomorrow to finish perpendicular lines.